punch in the throat. That could kill her, right? And the WNBA, right? The people that run that league, if you're Dijonai here and you have a foul like that, I don't want to hear about, okay, that's a flagrant 2 and you get this sort of fine. She should be suspended for the rest of the season because this isn't, as you said, Tommy, a whoops. This is intentional. This was targeting Sophie Cunningham, and I don't care if the player is white or black. It does not matter. When you do this to somebody, this is horrible for the league. Obviously, this was done because Sophie Cunningham stood up for women, saying that men shouldn't play against women in sports because there is obviously a chromosome advantage, just like you see with steroids, a chemical advantage. And I'll leave it here. Serena Williams, I saw this clip just this week. 2013, she's on David Letterman when Letterman hosted the Late Show. And she was asked, would you play Andy Murray, who was a big deal in tennis, British guy in tennis? She said, no, I wouldn't. Andy asked me to do it. I would lose 6-love, 6-love. In other words, I would get wiped out.
The hardwood arena turned into a full-scale battle zone as the rivalry between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky reached a boiling point. Tension had been building for months, but almost nobody expected such a shocking display of physical aggression to unfold on national television. Every possession suddenly looked like a fight for control in an atmosphere where normal basketball discipline seemed to disappear completely. The energy inside the building became unbearable as both teams stepped onto the court looking prepared for an extremely heated confrontation.
And preach, oh, white privilege, white privilege, white privilege. But Dijonai, if I'm not mistaken, it was you that whacked Sophie Cunningham on the head. You whacked the white girl on the head and you got a consequence for it, right? You got punished for it. And then you broke league policy because you took to the internet and posted white privilege. And then you don't even know. The rules itself says, according to the 2026 WNBA official rulebook, an ejected player or coach must immediately retreat to the team's locker room, or leave the building entirely. However, because league policy prohibits players from using personal electronic devices or posting online until all post-game media obligations are fulfilled, they cannot use their phones while waiting in the locker room. And Dijonai Carrington, you used your phone while you was in the locker room posting white privilege. You used your phone while you was posting the next scheduled date where you play the Indiana Fever on August 23rd. And Dijonai, till this second, at the very time, it's 2:50 p.m. in New York right now. And up to this second, at the time of this recording, you have still yet to be punished yet, Dijonai. You have still yet to be punished. So Dijonai, please enlighten me. Where is the white privilege? Because if I'm not mistaken, it was Sophie.
Early in the opening stretch, Sophie Cunningham grabbed the ball and pushed ahead on a fast break. She focused completely on the basket, jumped toward the rim, and left herself completely vulnerable while attempting to finish the play. Cunningham was moving forward with full momentum and had little protection as she rose into the air to complete what should have been a routine scoring opportunity. It appeared to be an easy 2 points, but someone was rapidly approaching from behind with a very different intention.
About it. So immediately during the game, right? During the game, Dijonai Carrington went to the locker room and tweeted,
to be upgraded, I think, to a flagrant.
White privileged. How in the hell is this white privilege when you assaulted a player? Sophie didn't touch you. How is this a race issue? Make it make sense. Because I am definitely confused here, guys. I mean, I am hella confused. How is this a race issue, bro? And then not only that, Sophie Cunningham speaks on the matter. So immediately after the game, y'all know the reporters wasted no time catching up with the soapster. And a lot of stuff did happen, and I did forget about the Caitlin Clark getting a technical. So Caitlin Clark is more than likely going to be suspended, bro. She's going to be suspended. So Sophie Cunningham was asked. Sophie Cunningham, in response to Dijonai Carrington posting on Threads, white privilege.
Closing in from behind, Dijonai Carrington delivered a frightening blow toward Cunningham's exposed head and neck area. It did not appear to be a normal attempt to challenge the shot or make a genuine play on the basketball. Carrington swung her arm and made heavy contact that disrupted Cunningham's body position and sent an immediate reaction through the arena. The impact knocked Cunningham out of the air and caused her to crash hard onto the unforgiving hardwood surface.
Fist/arm gesture, yelled at the scoreboard. She didn't even yell scoreboard. She really said, yeah, look at the scoreboard. She wasn't even screaming. Bumped into a referee accidentally. Like, I mean, come on. Look at the technical fouls Caitlin Clark is getting. And we are going to get into why Caitlin Clark is being targeted. Look at this. Was clearly bumped into a referee. And this referee took offense to it and literally called the technical foul. Caitlin couldn't believe it, right? And you would think like, okay, that's not that bad, right? But then when you bring up another incident with Natasha Cloud during the same game, if I might add, during the same exact game, Natasha Cloud was seen pushing this same exact referee with no punishment, with no consequence. In fact, shutting Dijonai's claims down that this is not white privilege. In fact, this is black privilege. Let's be real with ourselves. Shout out to Rose Rance, my guy, Black and White Sports, one of the realest in this space, man. Shout out to my guy. Make sure y'all go subscribe to him. If you're not, you're living under a rock. But look at this, man. Natasha Cloud seen pushing the referee. Oh my gosh. One more time, just in case you missed it. Natasha Cloud bumping the referee. You can clearly see she's physically putting her hand on the referee's ribcage, pushing her out of the way. And the referee's like, no, Natasha, stop it. This is so attractive to me. Stop it, Natasha. I'm supposed to be professional right now. Look at this, man. This is disgusting work, man. You could put hands on the referee's bodies, on her arms. And this is, guys, I could be wrong, but this is the look of love. I don't know. This let me know if I'm tripping. This is the look of love. Play Sade, kiss of love. This is the kiss of love, man. But when Caitlin Clark gets bumped by this same exact person, Natasha Cloud,
so clearly was a foul, was not called.
Insane, man. Insane. And now that I'm looking at it, Natasha Cloud gave her a look. Like, you gonna let her do that to you, baby? Natasha gave her a look. Look at this. After this, look at this. She threw Caitlin Clark into her and then stared at the referee. You cannot make this up, man. Natasha Cloud looking at the referee like, oh, you really gonna let that happen? Look at this. This is crazy, man. And then turns her head the other way. And the referee like, nah, I'm calling it. It was too much pressure on the referee. She didn't know what to do. So instead of not calling the foul, the referee said, oh, I'm going to call a technical foul on Caitlin. I got to do something. I missed the first foul. I have to do something. The referee must have just panicked because it's like, I can't help Caitlin. I refuse to. You know, it's not even helping her. It's just doing your damn job anyways. And then you want to see more black privilege, right? Because Paige Beckers, her skin color might be white, but she's treated like a sister. If I'm not mistaken, one of her parents might be black or something like that too, right? But neither here nor there. Let's look at Paige Beckers literally bumping a referee. Look at this. The music. I mean, look at this, man. Paige Beckers literally bumping into a referee. I don't know if this is a love bump. I don't know what it is, but it didn't get a technical foul, right? So once again, privilege in this league. You know what I'm saying? But man, listen, like, if this is white privilege, I don't know what it is, man. Listen, Caitlin Clark has it.
The entire building reacted with shock as Cunningham landed with tremendous force. Somehow, the ball still went through the basket for 2 points, but Cunningham immediately got back up instead of staying on the floor. Filled with anger, she moved toward Carrington and demanded an immediate response. Cunningham pushed Carrington in the chest before officials and teammates quickly stepped between them to prevent the confrontation from becoming a much larger fight. The referees stopped play and went to the replay screens to review exactly what had happened during the dangerous sequence. The footage appeared to show a clear arm movement, significant contact, and a dangerous follow-through near the neck area. Officials then upgraded the foul to a flagrant 2 and removed Carrington from the contest. She was ejected and escorted away from the court as stunned fans reacted loudly. That ejection soon became only the beginning of a much larger controversy surrounding league discipline. After returning toward the locker room, Carrington reportedly ignored required professional conduct procedures before the game had even ended. The discussion around the league's 2026 rules claimed that ejected players were restricted from using personal electronic devices before completing required post-game media responsibilities. Carrington allegedly ignored those restrictions and used her phone to post a controversial message online. Rather than accepting responsibility quietly, she shared the phrase white privilege across social media and immediately created another major argument. The post shifted attention away from the physical incident and opened a completely different debate across the internet. By bringing racial language into the discussion, Carrington was accused of changing the public narrative and presenting herself as the target. The controversial message spread rapidly, creating intense reactions across social platforms, news coverage, and sports discussions. When reporters approached Cunningham after the game, she remained calm and handled the attention with a composed attitude. She said the dangerous contact appeared intentional and suggested that the incident was driven by a desire for attention and online reaction. Cunningham also noted that she had previously been ejected following a hard foul and accepted the punishment without attempting to blame unrelated circumstances. Her response directly challenged Carrington's version of events and argued that accountability in sports should apply regardless of race or skin color. The seriousness of the incident also attracted strong criticism from media personality Joe Concha during national television coverage. Concha strongly condemned the dangerous contact and called on league officials to respond with much stronger punishment. He argued that a standard one-game ejection would not be enough for an action that could potentially cause a serious or career-threatening injury. Concha pushed for a much longer suspension that would make the league's position on dangerous conduct completely clear. Some critics also argued that Cunningham had become a target because of her outspoken opinions concerning the protection of women's sports divisions from perceived biological advantages. Commentators brought up previous remarks from tennis star Serena Williams about the physical differences between elite male and female athletes to support their argument about those differences. That broader political discussion added even more tension to an already explosive situation and transformed a serious basketball incident into a much larger cultural argument. The confrontation revealed disagreements that went far beyond the normal boundaries of a professional basketball game. Despite everything that happened, the Indiana Fever eventually defeated the Chicago Sky by a score of 90-86. However, the final result quickly became secondary to the controversy surrounding Carrington's actions and everything that followed. Supporters and viewers around the world reacted strongly online, calling for league leadership to take meaningful action. Questions about the league's credibility intensified as fans debated whether the rules were actually being enforced equally for everyone. The controversy grew even further when viewers began comparing the treatment of superstar Caitlin Clark during the same game. Clark received a technical foul after making contact with a referee while moving across the court, with the contact appearing accidental to many viewers. The official responded by penalizing Clark despite there being no obvious aggressive intention behind the interaction. That decision surprised Clark and quickly led to accusations that officials were treating her more harshly than other players. The criticism became stronger when footage circulated showing Natasha Cloud making physical contact with the same referee earlier in the contest. Cloud appeared to place her hands against the official and move her aside, yet she did not receive a technical foul or immediate warning. The difference between those two situations frustrated many fans and raised questions about whether officials were applying the rules consistently. The contrasting treatment of the players created a wider debate about possible favoritism and inconsistent officiating throughout the league. Critics claimed that some established players could make physical contact with officials without facing meaningful consequences. At the same time, younger or more prominent players were receiving technical fouls for much smaller incidents during emotional moments. The growing frustration caused some fans to believe that officiating decisions were influencing games according to personal preferences rather than consistent standards. Video analysts also circulated examples involving Paige Buchers appearing to make physical contact with officials without receiving technical penalties. As more clips appeared, supporters argued that the pattern could no longer simply be dismissed as isolated incidents. Repeated examples of players touching officials without penalties strengthened claims that enforcement standards were changing depending on the individual involved. The lack of consistent application damaged confidence among viewers and created another serious challenge for the league's public image. The controversy became even louder when Carrington shared the scheduled date for her August 23 rematch against the Indiana Fever. Her social media activity promoted the upcoming meeting and showed little indication that the previous confrontation had ended the hostility between the teams. Many viewers interpreted the post as another provocation and evidence that the rivalry was likely to remain intense. At the time of this discussion, league leadership had not announced additional major discipline or significant financial penalties against Carrington. Public pressure continued to grow, with many fans demanding that WNBA officials consider a season-ending suspension. Critics argued that allowing serious physical contact on the court while also ignoring reported locker room technology restrictions could establish a troubling example for future players. If league leadership chooses not to respond strongly, critics believe it could create the impression that dangerous behavior and unsportsmanlike conduct carry limited consequences. Analysts warned that weak discipline could encourage more aggressive incidents and make future games increasingly difficult to control. What happened during the contest has therefore grown into something much bigger than one basketball play and has become a major test of the league's leadership and standards. Players should be held responsible for dangerous actions rather than allowing unrelated online arguments to dominate the conversation afterward. Cunningham's decision to recover from the hit, return to her feet, and remain composed demonstrated a strong level of determination under intense pressure. Her response also created a sharp contrast between maintaining professional composure and using social media to intensify an already heated dispute. The WNBA front office now faces an important decision that could influence how similar situations are handled in the future. Sports analysts and basketball fans around the world are watching closely to see whether meaningful accountability will actually follow. The central question is whether league officials will respond to public pressure or take a firm position designed to protect players and maintain consistent standards. Whatever decision comes next could influence the league's approach to discipline, player conduct, and officiating for years ahead. We will continue following every major update, disciplinary announcement, suspension decision, and locker room development as the controversy continues to unfold. Stay connected to the channel for breaking updates and immediate coverage as the league's final decision becomes clearer. Share your opinion in the comments about whether Carrington deserves a suspension for the remainder of the season. The confrontation has created a major dividing line, and the entire basketball community is now waiting to see what happens next.